Okay. Cool. Hello, everyone. Yeah, we do not have a very big audience today, but still, I really appreciate you being here. So let's probably briefly go through our agenda and like what we plan to cover today. I just actually changed it right before the session. So last time I wanted to explain to you like how you can contribute to the project. And so I just wanted to cover briefly like the concepts like Git branches and PRs. Again, it will be like 1 minute or something, and then start working on the store screen, how to create a custom widget. So I hope to show that to you today, and also introduction to stateful widgets. So far, we just learned what stateless widgets are, and yeah, hopefully, yeah, we can cover all of it today. Before we go to the so again, I will not like follow strictly this agenda. I will just like move move yeah, go and try to cover all these things yeah, throughout the session. So firstly, as probably you saw one of my latest announcements, some yeah, there one person, I'm not entirely sure what their name is, but they opened a PR, and so they contributed to this project a little bit. And what they did is, let me open that. Okay, let me probably launch that. Yeah, so this is a referral tracker. So they designed the login screen a little bit, and okay, great. Sorry, is that C Young? Do I pronounce your name correctly? Or sorry, yeah, okay, great. Yeah, thank you for doing that. So I just I went through that, and yeah, I did change a few things. I'll show them to you. So I hope I'll be. So let me just. Okay, please work. Cool. Yeah, I just removed the theme. I will explain like the reason why. It's just since I want this project like to be more related to GDC rather than only to Conestoga, so I want to use like the default theme or a theme that can be what is this? Sorry, or like the theme that like GDC Conestoga website, GDC website has, right? So this theme, so like you see this logo, these colors, then probably this font or something like this. So yeah, I kind of want to adhere to these guidelines and to still like to keep it in the same kind of loop. So yeah, but other than that, yeah, this is great. This is great. Thank you. I really appreciate your efforts. And if you so what the current functionality, it doesn't really have anything like functionally. It just the only thing you can like navigate through the screens, right? And it just like redirects you to different yeah, screens, different pages essentially. So what I want to do before we start working on the store screen, I want to clean this up a little bit and refactor it, just to like, so we have a universal style and like universal guidelines that that all of us can follow. So yeah, the first thing I just want to mention for everyone here and everyone who might watch this video later, it's just important that you don't commit some of the files that are like, in this case, it's okay. I guess these ones are not very important, but like for instance, like this file, Firebase options, it has some sensitive data in it, and you shouldn't commit it, right? So whenever like you commit your files, just make sure that you don't include any sensitive information there. So like the reason why you shouldn't commit this file because it has an API key, like I'm talking about this one. It has an API key, and essentially an API key is like it gives an access to your project, to your account, essentially, a Firebase account, and you shouldn't commit that because like some people might exploit it, like in a harmful way, I guess. Like because especially like right now you don't pay anything, so it's like it's okay, right? But it doesn't really matter. But you still should not avoid should avoid committing it. But like if it was a real project in a real company, then I mean it is a real project, but like probably if it was on a bigger scale, let's say, and you like purchased some services, right? So for instance, like you purchase some Firebase services and like you pay fee for that, right? And then if you expose your API key, some people might take this API key and use your account for their app, right? And essentially you will pay for their for the services that they use, and like you want to avoid that, right? So it just so this is like it's not only about Firebase. It's API keys are very like essentially ubiquitous, so they're used everywhere. Like for cloud stuff, like for yeah, for whatever. Like you just be careful. I will explain like also I hope maybe to cover in the next session a little bit how what env file is. So env is where you put all your API keys and your secrets, essentially, and this way you kind of protect all of the sensitive data, and then you can commit everything, essentially. So yeah, but for now, let's do this. So the first thing, it's just a good convention, I guess, is to create different folders and directories and like generally structure your files and code in a way that's like easy to read and follow, right? So everyone who's not familiar with the project is like can easily understand what and navigate through the code. So the first bullet point I have for like for myself here: extract each screen into its own file. So essentially, if I created the screens directory, right? And what we will do here, we will just create our we will put all of our screens in here. So we will create. So let's, for instance, let's do this. So you can see here that we have two screens already, right? So we have login screen and we have application screen. So let's extract this login screen. Oh, sorry. Let's extract this login screen into its own file. So I will create a Dart file and I will call it login screen. And yeah, I will add it to Git. And then what I will do, I will essentially take this, remove it from here, and then put it here. Now if I extract it, you can see it's all like red. The reason is because it doesn't have all of the like libraries important. It's important that you use this material, not the other ones, because yeah, it might be confusing. So we use material package from Flutter. So yeah, and essentially after you import it, it's all good. Yeah, the only thing it also wants this to be imported, so it's from constants. Okay, so you can see that I extracted it. So it's as simple as that, right? So after, like usually just, you should get used like to writing like new screens like right away in a new file. So this is what I will do today, right? When I design, when we will design the screens, sorry, when we will design the store screen. But for now, let's again just make sure that everything else works. So you see it throws an error right now. And if I expand everything again, it cannot find this login screen, right? Because it's not in this file anymore. So I need to import it from the login screen, from the screens folder, right? And you can see here that it put it here. So it says screens login screen.dart. So now it's imported from a different file, right? So this widget is imported now and everything's good. Let's do the same thing with this application screen. So I just copy it again. I remove it. I like cut it out. I create a new Dart file, call it let's actually rename it to our dashboard screen, right? So dashboard screen, and I do this, and again, I do the same thing. I just go here. Sorry, I import, again, material package, and then in here, I need to import this from dashboard screen. And essentially, like, since, yeah, we named the file dashboard screen, let's rename the class itself to dashboard screen as well. Dashboard screen. So now you can see that we have this. So yeah, essentially that's it for extraction. Let me just commit it. So I will say extract screens into their yeah, I'll just extract screens into their own files. A few things for commits. The general convention is that each commit starts. So, like, imagine that every commit sentence starts with the phrase "this commit will." Okay, so in this case, this commit will extract screens into their own files. So you should put it like into infinitive or whatever. So don't put it in the past tense or like don't do this. Yeah, just imagine that the sentence starts so like this commit will extract screens into their own files. So just a general convention that's good to follow. So if I commit it, I put it here. Now, another refactoring that I want to do is you can see that there is this. So Young like created this constants file, and essentially we yeah, and this constants file has routes, right? So if I go back to main screen, this is like how navigation works, right? So essentially you have material app, then you specify the initial route, and then you have routes dictionary, right? Routes list. So you say that home is when you go to home page. So like, for instance, let me do this. So you see, if I end with a slash, it goes to home. If I end with, what is that? If I end with application, sorry. If I end my URL with application, it will go to application, right? Application screen. So it is, so what I want to do is I want to delete this file. And usually you want like every class to contain all the information about itself, right? So in this case, usually like I just saw like a very good, like, I don't know, convention or whatever you want to call it. They just put so instead of having a separate, like, dedicated constants file for all of the routes, you just have, so each screen will have its ID. It will have its own attribute. Actually, let me close everything because I think I have a lot of tabs open. So let's go, like, for instance, to login screen, right? And here I will just create a new like attribute, static attribute. If you don't know what static is, I suggest like it's just like general OOP, so object-oriented programming like theory. I will not cover it today, but yeah, it's good. It's good to know what it is, but if you don't know, it's like not too critical right now. So I guess it's so final, or let me actually see. So final static, or I don't remember how to declare static variables in Dart. Let me try. Okay, static string, and I will call it ID, and I will call it login. Okay, or let's just put it like this. Okay, so this will be like the default. So this is its ID. Okay, so this is the ID of the screen, and we put it right into the screen, right? And each screen will have its own separate ID attribute, and we will just point to what URL it will correspond, right? Or like what essentially route it will correspond to. So essentially, yeah, briefly about like static. Static is like it's yeah, it's very hard to explain in just one a few sentences, but essentially it's something that's unique to this class, right? So this attribute is unique to this class, and so we just that's why we put this I guess we make this variable static. But again, I just suggest you revisit either from your, if you haven't covered it yet, probably you should like I'm sure you will cover it in your future classes, but like what static is. But if you have already covered it and you've forgotten, then yeah, I just suggest you like revisit it. So essentially, yeah, and for the dashboard, let's just do dashboard. Okay, so essentially what we did right now, we created static attributes for each of our screens. We have login screen, and we say, okay, its ID is just slash, right? So it will be our default route. And here we have also another, in the dashboard screen, we have a dashboard route. So if I go to main right now, so instead of using our constant variables that come from this file, right, we should use the following. So we just do login screen, and then we just put ID, okay? So we say login screen ID, and then we say just render login screen. If I do like dashboard screen ID, then we render dashboard screen, right? So it's more readable and it's easier to maintain because again, everything is contained in one, like everything, all the information about the screen is contained inside its own class, right? So it's easier to do that rather than having like a separate constants file. And also our default route will be the login. So I just do again login screen ID. So I do this, and now I can safely delete this constants file. So let me do this. Anyway. Okay, I hope it doesn't crash. If it does, then we will try to figure out what the problem is. Could not find. Okay, where are you? Okay, in the login screen. Okay, we don't need this. Okay. There, yeah. Okay, so instead of application page route, in this one it says when you click this text button, it should redirect you to the to what? Okay, let's delete this code for now. And this one, it says, so just go to dashboard screen, and then again, you just put ID. So it's just easier, again, easier to read, right? So yeah, let's do this. And if I refresh it again, okay, it seems like it's working. So yeah, if I go here, and then if I go here, yeah, it's working. So these links do not work because I just removed the code for them, but the last one will. So it just redirects you to the dashboard screen, essentially. But actually, it should be membership, probably. Membership screen instead. So yeah. Cool. Any questions about this? Is that confusing? Was it clear? So extract static these two screens. Cool, I just committed again. Maybe one of the last things about like refactoring is in here, routes. So this list, so right now it's very small. Like this list is just 2 lines, but it might grow, right? So it might become way bigger in the future. So what we should do is we should create a separate file called routes. So we will call it routes.dart. And essentially, it will be, it will contain all of the routes that we have in our application, right? So essentially, like if you take a look here, you can see that routes, this is its type, right? So it's type of map. And, the key is string, and the corresponding value is widget. So essentially, if you don't know what like a map is the same thing as dictionary. So in other languages, it might be called hash map, it might be called um, dictionary, yeah, whatever, or like map. Yeah, it has a lot of names, but essentially, like what I want to do, I want to specify that routes is of this type, right? So again, I import this, and I call this map will be called route, and essentially what it will be just this list, okay? So oh shit, I should do this. So, and again, it just complains that the imports are not there. So just import this, it should be better. Cool. So you can see that I just extracted this routes into its own like dedicated file. Again, the main reason, because like in the future, we might have like 100 routes, right? And like, it's just better to have everything here. And now, like you can see it's broken because like there's an error. I just need to call, I need to import these routes, right? So I just do this, and I import them from the routes.dart file, right, that we just created. So, and yeah, that's essentially it. Cool. Also, just some of the conventions. It's always good to end your line with every statement, like every line should end with a comma, just because it will be formatted better. So you saw, right? I didn't put a comma here, and like if I format it, it puts everything in one line. But if I put like comma at the end, it formats it like better. So yeah, just something as well. So let's do this. So extract routes into its own file. Cool. Okay, so this is the first thing done. Essentially, what I did right now, we refactored like all the code, and you can see now it's way cleaner, right? So the main file has only the application itself and like the bare minimum logic, and then the screens are in their own files, right, and their own dedicated files. So it's again easier to maintain, easier to read, and it's also the convention that everyone should follow. So cool. Now let's move on to our like major part of the session. Is we want to start working on the store screen and how to create a custom widget. And again, we will right now we will cover all of this together. So if I go back to the if I go back to our prototypes, I created, we will work on something like this. Again, it will not be exactly this way, but what I want to do right now, I'm not entirely sure if it's, if we'll be able to finish it like like everything right now, but I hope we'll cover like at least something. So essentially, you can see that the store has multiple items, right? So what I want to do right now, I want to create a custom widget. So you can see that all of the items are exactly the same, essentially, right? I mean, obviously, like right now it's just prototype, but like in real life, it will be like all of the data here will be different, right? So each item will have like a different name. It will have like, so I don't know, item name 2 or whatever, right? It will have like different description, et cetera, et cetera. But for now, we'll just like, this is just prototype, but what we will do right now is we will create a custom widget. So again, as we covered during the previous sessions, everything in Flutter is a widget, essentially, right? There are like simple widgets that are provided by default to everyone. Like again, like text widgets, like text button, text, app bar, right? All of these, like container, all of these are the default widgets that we get. So we don't need to create like we just use them to create our own stuff. But right now, I want to create like a custom widget that we will reuse, right? So in this case, as you can see, we have a lot of repetition here, right? So each thing, so this is like exactly the same, only the content will be different, right? So this can be extracted into its own widget. So yeah, the first thing I want to do is just to create a like this card, essentially, right? I will just keep it very simple for now. I will not put anything, like I'll just put probably like button, button name and image, and everything else, again, we'll just edit afterwards, like in the future sessions probably, or you can, again, open a PR and work on that. But yeah, let's just create our own widget, and then we will just use it to for our store screen. Okay, so the first thing, let's do the following. We will put all our custom widgets into our widgets folder. Okay, so I create a widgets folder. I create a new file. So it will be called, how do we call our widget? I would just call it StoreItem. Okay, for now. And okay, sorry, let me just. Yep. So essentially, so far, so what we learned, like during the past sessions, right? We just learned what stateless widgets are. So stateless widget is essentially like a static thing that will not change at all. Okay. So for instance, like if I take a look at our app, I hope I can open it. Okay, it seems like it's I decided to shut itself down. Okay, sorry, I'll just wait a little bit. Okay. Yeah, in the meantime, does anyone have any questions? Any confusing parts? Anything you would like to clarify? Yeah, it's taken a while. Okay. So okay. So you can see here that right now, like all of these, like for instance, this screen is a static widget right now. The main reason is that like nothing changes here, right? So like the button, like, I mean, everything is static, right? So it doesn't really change anything. So for instance, like if, okay, I'm trying to trying to find out, find good explanations so it's a little bit more clear. So like, for instance, a simple text widget. So if I go here, right, this is a static. So this is app content, right? So if you recall, if I go like to our dashboard screen, this is just a it's a stateless widget because like, again, it doesn't have any changing parts, nothing moves around, it just like simple text, right? So we don't, and here it is. So yeah, no parts change. But like, if you recall from our first session, when we just scaffolded, like when we just created our own, sorry, GDC referral tracker, that web. So this is an app that we created like initially and we deployed. You can see that right now, if I click on this button, the content of the page changes, right? So now it's 1. If I click, it's 2, right? So this piece is changing. So this screen is dynamic, right? And this screen is stateful, okay? So if, just to clarify again, there are like 2 types of widgets. The first one is stateless. So again, it's like in our case, our dashboard screen, right? It just has a text widget. It doesn't have any change in parts. So that's why it is good enough for now. Probably again afterwards we'll refactor it to be stateful. But like again, if I go back to like our initial app that we created during our first session, it is a stateful widget, right? Because the screen changes as you do something, right? So it's dynamic and it's like interactive. Sorry. Is this clear or no? Or you need a little bit more explanations? I'm not entirely sure if you're asleep or no. Cool. Great. Anyone else? Yeah, we have 7 people so far, so including me. So yeah. Okay, I will assume everyone else is good as well. So yeah, let's just move on. So essentially, again, if you just click, it changes, so it's stateful. If in this case nothing changes, so stateless is good enough for now. In our case, I believe this store item can be stateless for now. So let's just put it like this. So this card, essentially, it will not. Okay, let's just for the sake of just showing, I want to show you how you can create a stateful widget and like what it consists of. So that's why I will create like a stateful widget for the store item. But for today's session, I believe like stateless widget will be good enough for this one. But again, like for instance, the login screen even right now, like this screen doesn't do anything, right? So if I go back and like you see, if I type and I log in, like it doesn't do anything. It doesn't save this data anywhere, right? There is nothing that like fetches this data from the screen, right? And stateless widget cannot do this. It can be done only with a stateful widget. So like in the future sessions or someone here can like refactor this to be a stateful widget. And if it's a state, if you convert this login screen into a stateful widget, we will be able to fetch inputs from the screen, right? Because again, this login screen would have a state, and in this state, you would put all of the data, right? Essentially, this is how it works. And right now it's stateless, so you have no place where you can put this data in. So, but for now, let's focus on this store item custom component. So again, I will create stateful. So again, if you use Android Studio and you install the plugins from the first session, you can just do this. And essentially, like what it does, it creates this for you. So let me just, so we will call the store item. Okay, so this is our own custom widget. And let me import like our material package here. So you can see if I minimize everything, stateful widget consists of 2 parts. The first part is the widget itself, right? And the second part is its state. Okay, so you can see there is like store item, and then there is store item state. So still figuring out everything, but you're good to continue. Okay. No worries. You're welcome like to rewatch the previous sessions just to maybe catch up if you didn't have a chance like to attend the previous ones. Yeah, but essentially, store item again. Every stateful widget has again a state and it has a widget, right? If I go again to the dashboard screen, for instance, it's a stateless widget. So if I minimize everything, it has only widget itself, right? It doesn't have any state attached to it. But again, if it's a stateful widget, it will have state. And in this state, you'll be able, again, either to fetch data from the screen or, make something like dynamic, like clicking button, right, that I showed you previously. So again, this is like stateful widget, right? It has this screen, for instance, it has a state of count, right? And when you click this button, it increases the count and it updates the screen. So something like this, right? Essentially, let's focus on this for now. So what it will be, let me take a look how I can do this. So sorry, I'm just looking at some other like references. So okay. Okay, let's probably for now, I guess, it can be a, what can it be? Let's just, yeah, let it be a container. Okay, it has a child. I'm just, I don't really recall how, okay, there is a widget called column. And a column can have children, right? So if I do this, so in here I will be able to put multiple widgets, right? And they will be like aligned as a column. So in here, like I will just put text. Like for instance, let's just see, where are we? If I go, yeah. So let's refer to this one. So I want to put like, let's not put image for now, or actually, yeah, we can probably do this. So let's let me go here. So again, I'm using this cookbook as well. If I go to images, so like let's do this. So like display images from the internet, and if I go here, I can just take this. Okay, so I'll just take this piece here, and we'll put it in our code. So yeah, so we will have image on top, then we will have a piece of text, which will be our item name, and then the last one will be, actually it needs to be constant for now, because like this text doesn't change, so that's why it says it needs to be constant. And then the last one, let's, I don't know, let's put a button or something. So if I, again, look here, and if I look for button, create a download button. I mean, it shouldn't be download, it should be purchase or something, but okay. Okay, yeah, we definitely don't want this thing. So, okay, let me go back here. And if I remember correctly, there's like elevated button widget. Yeah, so it has like onPressed, and onPressed needs to be a function. For now, it will be empty, and a child, it just needs to be a text that we put inside of our button. And let's do like purchase, or like for now. So if I do this, okay, and again, good conventions. Right now, you can see if I format it, it doesn't format it. So if you're using Android Studio and you're on Mac, then the shortcut to auto format the file is Command Option L. I believe on Windows it is Control Alt L. So yeah, if so again, if I make this code messy, right, I do something like this, and I press like Command Option L, it auto formats it for me. So but you can see that this piece is cluttered, right? So that's why you should put like commas at the end of each like statement, at the end of each property. That so when you see like we passed this property called child, so just at the end put a comma, and also at the end of this widget put a comma as well. And now if I auto format it, you see it like puts it like makes it more accurate, I guess. So yeah, now let's refresh our app, and we will go here, and this is our app. Let me close this one. So okay, right now we actually will not be able to see this this piece at all, just because we don't use it anywhere. So for now, let's just put it in our, I guess, let's put it in our login screen temporarily. So let me just, I will comment out this code. And for now, again, temporarily, we'll have it our own like store screen afterwards. But let's just, since we want just to test our component, sorry, yeah, our custom widget right now, it will be good enough. So if I do body, and then in body, I have like our store item. So you can see, I hope, store item. And I can do this, and I can do this. If we format it, it should be fine. It complains, it wants a constant here. Cool. So now if I refresh this piece, and I go back to our screen, sorry, for our app. Yeah, you can see, so this is how our custom widget looks like, okay? So just to clarify what I did right now, let me close everything because I think I have a lot of things open. So yeah, what I did right now, you can see I created a custom widget that I put in under widgets folder, and I called it store item. And again, since this is a stateful widget, um, we put everything like in the state, okay, and like and here we just created a container. It has a few children widgets, and we have like image, then we have text, and then we have a button. So again, if I just go here, this is how it looks right now, right? And I put it on the login screen, but again, I want to remove it now. So because we don't want it to be on the login screen, right? We want to put it on the store screen. So let's just do this. So if I guess what we did right now, we just created the store item custom widget. So let's just do create, let's just briefly commit it. Oh, actually, before I go, I want to explain like to you how you can contribute to the app, right? Briefly. So because I think this is a good spot to do that right now. So again, this is the repo, right? It's under our organization. It's called so GDC Conestoga. And then you have referral tracker app repository. And then the way you can contribute to this app is, I see like some people already forked it. So like you create a fork. So fork is like a copy of this repository, but under your own account, okay? And then you can like do a bunch of modifications, and after that you can create a pull request, right? So, and let me just, yeah, and essentially like a pull request is a request, your request to me as a repository owner to merge your work, okay? So like with the help of pull request, so like for instance, Xiyang so created a pull request, right? So she like again she forked or they worked a this repository, and then made some local changes, right? And then under their own account, let's put it this way, and then they created a pull request, right? And then I merged their work in, so you can see it's closed. So this is one of the pull requests. Let me just sorry, maybe it's very confusing if you're new to it. It's just like basic like git git theory, I guess. Yeah, git concepts. So let me just cover it briefly. So a good practice, let's just go over everything like step by step so it's not that confusing. So when you work on a new feature, right? So right now we work on a completely new feature. And like before, actually I should have done it before I started working on this. So so yeah, whenever you work on a new feature, you need to create a branch. So a Git branch, you can see by default, GitHub, like in Git, gives you a branch called main, right? And everything what we did right now is on the main branch, right? So you can see all of the commits that we've done are on the main branch. But usually, like, you shouldn't commit anything to the main branch. It's a like very bad practice. You should you should create every feature needs to have its own separate branch, right? So um, and that's why, like, right now we are working on a store screen, right? So we will work on that, and I need to create a new branch. So the way you do it, you say git branch, and you put the name. So we want to call it create store. So usually you like prefix it either like with feature or like with a bug or whatever. So it means like what type of branch it is. So in our case, it's featured. So I just do featured slash, and then you put like the actual name. It will be in our case. So create store screen. Okay. So now I need to, you can see here I'm still on the main branch, right? I just created this branch, but I'm not there yet. So what I need to do is I need to go there, and to do this I need to check out. So there's a command called checkout, and let's do feature and this. So you can see that we switched, and now you can see that it's reflected here in the console as well. So I'm on the create store screen branch right now. And everything, so yeah, all the work that I'm doing right now will be on this branch, right? And this is what you should do on your, like, under your account as well. So whenever like you create a fork, right, you need to yeah, when you create a fork, you need to make sure you pull all the work, right? So you need to run this command git pull, okay? And then after that, you can create, make sure that you are still located on main. So when you're on main, you create a branch, right? And then you go to this branch, and then you do all of the work on this branch, right? So in simple words, like if you're not familiar with Git branches, it's just a stream of work where you like make a bunch of commits, right? And then you create a pull request to merge everything into your main branch or like other branch, right? Essentially, but usually it's either develop or main branch. So yeah, and this, so right now I created a new branch, as you can see, and I want to commit, to make a commit called store like I created a new widget. So create store item custom widget. Okay. So, and now I just do commit. And you can see that yeah, maybe it's a little bit confusing here, but essentially what I did right now, I created a commit on this branch, right? So now let's move on. I guess, sorry, it was, maybe it was, let me put it this way. If you found what I explained right now very confusing, don't worry. Like, it's all good. Maybe you should just like familiarize yourself with Git generally and like Git basics. So either, again, YouTube has a bunch of tutorials. I hosted a workshop last year about Git, so you can check it out on our YouTube channel. But otherwise, again, like, but it's not the workshop that I hosted. It covers only basics. But again, you can also find other tutorials on YouTube. So yeah, just make sure like you know what Git is, because it's like um, very necessary in software development. Let's put it this way. So like what I explained right now is like just basic Git concepts. Again, if you found them overwhelming, no worries. Just I suggest you just watch a few videos. So the concepts you need is like what Git is, commits, branches, PRs, and forks, right? So these like the basics words that you need to understand what they mean. So okay, now now we want to create our screen called store screen, right? So store screen. So again, I went to under the screens directory, I created store screen file. And what it will be right now, let's just make it stateless widget. Again, most probably, we'll need to convert everything to stateful. But for now, since we don't fetch any data from the screen, like we don't send anything to Firebase, we don't do these kind of actions, and we don't retrieve anything from Firebase, stateless widgets are good enough for now, because right now we just display static content on this on the screen, right? You just yeah, so I will just make everything stateless for now. So store screen, but again, in the future, we'll probably convert it to stateful. And yeah, as I showed to you earlier, we need to import our library. So, sorry, our package. And now let's just do something like, yeah, maybe this. So you see there is there are like different, yeah, I guess there are like different widgets that you can use. So there are like lists, there are like tables. Yeah, a lot of different ways you can arrange your stuff on the screen. But for now, we will just, what we will do is we will create a column, okay, another column, and it will have multiple multiple store items. Okay, so I do store item 1, store item, okay, and let me just do this, I guess. What are you complaining about? Okay. So yeah, and now I want to put like, I don't know, 5 store items in my store, right? So you can see that now I can essentially reuse the code that I created in my custom widget, and I can reuse it in the store screen, right? So here I can like do again 5 times, 10 times, whatever, right? And this way, again, you kind of eliminate this duplication. And in here, let's probably on our login screen, let's just do one thing. So I will create a new link. Okay, so center, let me just go here, column, cool. So let's create probably like another text button, but we will put it on top, okay? So I'll put like a text button here. And again, for now, it will be very simple. We'll just call it like go to store, store screen. And then in here, we will, yeah, again, it will be a text button on the login screen. And after you click this, this button, we want to go to the store screen, right? And again, as I showed you at the beginning of the session, each screen should have its own static ID. So we should call it static string and then ID. And our route to this page will be store. So if I do store and I go here, again, to our login screen, and instead of yeah, and then here you see it's a text button, and then when I click, so when I press on it, we want to navigate, so navigator.push named, and then we pass context, and we just say store item, and then, oh, sorry, store item, store screen, and then we pass ID, okay? So, and then in here, yeah, it should be fine. So if I refresh our page, okay. Okay, now it complains, it says, okay, I forgot semicolon. If I refresh it, And you can see now this piece appeared here. And if I go to our store screen, it broke. Okay, it broke. Let's figure out what could not find generator route setting store null. Does anyone see a problem that I did? Sorry. Yeah, what did I do wrong? Okay, I know what. Sorry. You can see that every screen, like for instance, let's take a look at our like dashboard screen, for example. Every screen needs to return a scaffold, right? And I just return a column right now, so it's that's why I cannot render it correctly. So what I should do, I will just copy cut this for now, and I need to return a scaffold. Again, if it's the first time you like attend Codemon the session, I suggest you like go to the first and the second ones. The first of the second sessions, and like revisit and review. Yeah, I explained like what all of these things are. So essentially, okay, so app bar, it will be just a simple text, and it will be again referral tracker. No, sorry, it needs to be an actual app bar, and then it will have visit accept. It has title, and it's text probably. Yeah, text, and then we'll put like referral. So store screen. Okay, let's just put it this way for now. Okay. Second. Why don't you want to be formatted? Okay. Okay. It seems I don't have enough parentheses. Okay, cool. So you can see I just put a nav bar, and then we need to have a body, and our body will be this column. Okay, so now it should work. So if I refresh this, and I go to this screen, now if I click this, it still doesn't work. Let me probably just restart the whole application again. So again, either I might have something up. Does anyone see a problem? Just sorry, probably will be a couple of minutes over time. This is almost everything that I wanted to cover. I just want to show you how to create a pull request, and that's it. And then I will share like a feedback form, and then you can submit it, and then we'll do a quick raffle item, and then that will be it for today. So, okay. Yep, it complains. Could not find generator for route settings store. Widget app state. Okay, I need your help. I'm stuck. I guess, does anyone know what the problem can be here? It might be something with the body. Maybe it shouldn't be like a column, or maybe this shouldn't be constant, but okay. Could not find a generator for route settings. Yeah. Okay. I forgot. What we forgot to do is to add add a route, right? So if we do a store screen, so store screen ID, and we say that when you receive store screen ID, when like a route is entered in the address bar, in the browser address bar, we want to go and we want to render our store screen. Okay, so this was the full problem. So hopefully, if I refresh it, should be fine now. No. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you can see that it renders a bunch of items. It's not scrollable. Again, this is something that should be improved, but you can see that it renders a bunch of items here, right? So, and again, this we achieved this with the help of our custom widget, okay? And what we did is essentially, with the help of this custom widget, we could display multiple store items on our store screen, okay? So this is essentially it. I will do a commit. So create store screen. Okay, and the final thing. Now let me briefly explain to you how you open a pull request. So after you did and you committed all the work, so it's very important, you need to commit everything. And then after you do this, you need to do git push, okay? And it gives you this command, okay? So you just copy and paste this. So what it does, it essentially, it takes the local copy of the code and pushes it to GitHub on the internet, essentially, to the internet. So if I go here and I open this, you can see that, sorry, and I go here, you can see that it knows already. You see, had recent pushes than less than a minute ago. So, and you can see that I have 2 branches right now. So I pushed it, and that's why I can see this branch here. So, and the way you create a pull request is you click new pull request, and then you see you say that I want I want to merge so this branch, so feature create store screen, into the main branch. Okay, so after this, you just create pull request, just like provide some description, and here it's just feature. So let's just remove it. So, and let's just provide some description. So creates a store screen with store items. Okay, so you just create pull request, and after you do this, I will be able to see it here, and then I will just go here, review your work, okay, and then if everything is good, I will just merge everything and like accept your work, and it will be under this repository as well. So again, this is just some basic stuff. Cool. Any questions before we move on? I will actually, what I will do right now, I will share this feedback form. So please go right now and fill it out. And so just a few questions about today's session. And yeah, I will copy all of the names, and we can do a raffle prize right now. So it's like random view, whatever, random view of names. Cool. So yeah, let's just I will wait for you all to put your names in and like submit the form. So after you do this, yeah, we will. The price will be Amazon gift card $20. So yeah, please submit your feedback. So far, no one has submitted any responses. I hope someone's here still. So yeah, in the meantime, the last thing that I wanted to cover is the project. So, and like where you can get the features to work on, essentially. So if you go again under this repository, there is a projects tab. I made it public, so you should be able to see it. Actually, we'll appreciate if someone can confirm that you can see that. And after you go to projects, you click here. And yeah, just make sure you transfer to this board view. and you can see there are tickets, right? So there are a few tickets that we did already. So we created the simple Flutter app during our first session, and the same, we deployed it. And today I created, like right before the session, I created 2 tickets that you can work on, or like some of you can contribute, like, right, and develop those features. So based on the feedback from the last session, it seems like you people like this more. So instead of, as you can see, like I suggested last time, I suggested 2 different prototypes. Okay, just a second. So we had one login screen that was like this, and the other one was just using Google Auth. Yeah, okay, perfect, thank you. So essentially, you can just look at these tickets, and you can work on these features. Again, create, fork the repo, pull everything, then you just create a new branch, and after this, you can, again, can you try to assign yourself here? So if you go to this ticket, can you add your name here? So assignees, can someone try to put their name here? I just want to see if it's possible to do. Anyone? Sorry. So yeah, essentially what I want you to do, are we the ones to say? Yeah, I want you, like, if you want to work on this ticket, just go there and try to assign it to yourself. So can you do this or no? I'm just wondering, it's something like, it's new to me, so I'm not entirely sure if it's possible to do it on your end. So yeah, after you assign it to yourself, it doesn't look like it, I see. Okay, just maybe message me on Discord, okay? And I will assign a ticket to you. Just say, okay, I want to work on ticket 4, and I will assign it to you. So it doesn't get, so someone else doesn't take it, and 2 people don't work on the same feature. So yeah, and then there is another ticket that I created. So create membership application screen. So this is, again, something you can work on. And again, I will create a bunch of tickets since there are a lot of features, and you can contribute. And yeah, this way, again, I hope, yeah, probably will give you some swag or something as well, for your contributions at the end of the semester, or maybe even a prize. I don't know. We'll see. So like the most active people, yeah, will be like rewarded. Okay, it's still one more person. Okay, I guess they left, so I will just take those 4 people. Sorry, give me a second. Okay, so sorry, I will just copy all of your names. And let me go titled. I'll go here. Sorry, I'm not. Where is this wheel? What's that? Okay, here we are. Okay, let me just split everything. Okay, I hope 4 people are here. Again, the price is Amazon gift card $20. So let's just do this. Cool. Is Sunita here? Just to confirm, where I confused, where I just merged different names together. Okay, it seems like, yeah, I did. Okay. And sorry, it doesn't seem like they're here. Okay, I will try to reach out to them because I have their email. And then, yeah, I'll just send the gift card, I guess, but I don't see them here. So, but anyways, thank you for being here. I will read your feedback. Okay, let me stop the recording.